an awe-inspiring adventure that is so intellectually stimulating that even the so-called experts are confounded by the overwhelming depth of sedimentary layers and lava flows in the Kittitas and Chelan counties. The book Discovering Washington Historic Gold Mines calls it freak geology. How did 50,000 feet of sedimentary rock get laid down in central Washington, with amazing well-defined palm frond fossils and a variety of tropical leaves? Cross-bedded sandstone and fossilized ripple marks, not to mention the world-famous Ellensburg blue agate, and thunder eggs and geodes, wire gold, and even diamonds. The conventional interpretation that is taught in secular schools is all those sedimentary layers, lava flows, so-called river rock, pristine fossils, wire gold, thunder eggs, geodes, and the Ellensburg blue agate were all laid down and formed over millions of years. But new and updated science is challenging that hypothesis. There seems to be an element of faith in all of that. Science seems to be saying we are observing catastrophic geological formations on a universal scale in the past. So you have these fossils here, and you can see where they mirror over there. So this one is that one there, and then you have this layer of fossils right here. So there could be more fossils inside these rocks. Okay, behind me here, we see the Swauk Formation. You see the tilted layers? We are at 4,100 feet elevation up on top of Blewett Pass. Now, at the end of the flood, the Cascade Mountain ranges rose up, and as they rose up, these layers that you see behind me, they got tilted. And these layers are made up of sandstone, siltstone, conglomerate, and shale. The shale holds fossils. Now, as the mountains rose up, huge masses of water, sheets of water flowed off of the Cascade Mountains going into the ocean basins, carving out all of these canyons, exposing these sedimentary layers behind me, and there's even more sedimentary layers over here in the road cut. Okay, here we are, Highway 97, the old Blewett Pass Highway, and you see up there sedimentary layers that are about 180 degrees. These sedimentary layers were horizontal at one time, but towards the end of the flood, these mountains, they rose up and tilted those layers at almost 180 degrees. And these are once again fossil-bearing rocks. And of course, as we come along here, we find another interesting phenomenon. We see where the Teanaway lava intruded into these sedimentary layers that we call the Swauk Formation. And there are literally thousands of these dike flows where basalt intruded into the Swauk Formation, where the earth opened up, and this lava, it oozed up through there and then flowed out on top. And so this is just another example, once again, of this one particular type of sedimentary layer that I've been following for now well over a mile. And it is angled at anywhere from 45 degrees almost to 180 degrees, which is just phenomenal considering that this was all horizontal at one time. Okay, this is really amazing. Here I am on the old Blewett Pass Highway, Highway 97. And here we have represented the Teanaway basalt flow right here that you're looking at. And then we go down here a little ways, and then we have what some secular scientists would say is a riverbed, that this here is river rock, which it is not. This here is a catastrophe, which you're looking at right here. This is a mud flow deposit. And then we move on a little further, and then we have sandstone. So what do we make of this? So we have sandstone, we have a flood deposit, which some people call a riverbed deposit, and then over here we have the Teanaway basalt flow. So in other words, what's happened here is that all these layers at one time were horizontal, and then an event took place, and this would be towards the end of the flood when the mountains rose up and these layers went vertical. That's what we're seeing here. This is why we can measure the depth of these layers and say, okay, the Teanaway basalt flow is 5,000 feet deep. The Swauk Formation, according to some estimates, is as deep as 28,000 feet. I don't know for sure that it's really that deep, but that's what some of the secular scientists are saying, and I'll go along with that because that only helps us catastrophic scientists, because we believe that this was all laid down by a flood, not over millions of years. That what we're looking at here is a catastrophe, not uniformitarianism. And so, once again, like the Bible says, and it agrees with science, and science agrees with the Bible, that these layers were all laid down horizontally, and then the mountains rose up, and these layers went vertical. So this is an amazing piece of geologic evidence that we're seeing right here. Okay, here we are, Old Blewett Pass Highway, Highway 97, and you are looking at some amazing geology that gives strong evidence of a worldwide flood of catastrophism. We are looking at sandstone, which is fossil-bearing rock, and it's very, very deep here. And as we continue on here up the highway, then we stumble upon the Teanaway basalt flow right up here. It is this darker rock, and so the earth opened up, it split, and all this lava shot through, and you can see the contact line right there. You can see to the right the lighter rock, which is sandstone. The darker rock is a Teanaway basalt flow, and then you continue on up here, and we'll see another contact line. So here's the other contact line right here. You'll notice now the lighter rock to the left, which is a sandstone, and the darker rock to the right is the Teanaway flood basalt. And so this basalt is high in silica, and this is where you can actually find thunder eggs, geodes, and calcite. And if you find calcite, you can find wire gold in it. Okay, so if we find calcite in a basalt flow like this, high in silica, then the next question you have to ask yourself is part of this the fountains of the great deep? Was there water that was shooting up with this basalt that we're seeing right here that penetrated this sandstone? This sandstone, according to secular geologists, is a Swauk Formation. And they're saying that this can be as thick as 28,000 feet deep. And the Teanaway basalt flow is 5,000 feet deep. And of course, as we come around here, you see that the sandstone continues on around the bend. So this sandstone structure that we're seeing here is actually vertical. It is not horizontal, which is really important to our study here. Here is the Swauk Formation once again, fossil-bearing rock, and we find lots of fossils in here. And here you can see part of this Swauk Formation, how it's gone at an angle. Like this, you come around, because we're in a road cut here, and here we have more fossil-bearing rock. And I've been following this formation for almost a mile. And it's all vertical. And I'm seeing some amazing fossils here. And it's blowing me away right now. That's definitely organic material. Those are like stems, branches. Or just this still. And look at here. We got a big branch right here. Look how wide this branch is. Right here at least. And then you go over here. Look at that. Right along there. Fossilized branch, casting of one. And, oh, then you have it along here. To look at. Okay, this is the shale part. Okay, so we got here. Oh, this is really cool. So this is shale at almost 180 degrees right here. Wow. And then we got sandstone here. So this was all laid down like a pancake. And then it all rose up when the mountains rose up. I mean, this is part of the mountain. Rose up. One at almost 180 degrees. So You know, this makes sense when you're talking about the biblical flood, because the mountains, they rose up, and as they rose up, all the flood waters, they went off the mountains and into the ocean. And so here you go, you got it. And this is all ocean bottom shale right here, and sandstone. And we're finding the leaves in here. Oh, that's pretty cool. I don't know, I've passed by here many times and I haven't seen this, but there is fossils in here, lots of them. You just have to start chipping away and you can find leaves in here. So you find the leaves usually in the shale.
Oh, in the layers?
Yeah. Yeah. We have something running through here. This is like an organic something running through the shale right here. Okay, here we are about a half mile off of Highway 97. And we are in an amazing place here. I know it's kind of hard to see that because it just looks like a bunch of dirt here behind me. But what is behind me here is a huge mud flow. And we have multitudes of palm frond fossils. And according to secular scientists, this layer, this topography that we are at here is about 12,000 to 28,000 feet deep. Now that is amazing. Now I do not see how uniformitarianism is going to answer that. Catastrophism is a better answer to what we're seeing here. And so at one time there were palm trees around here. Palm trees in the mountains, that is amazing. There's a fossil right in here. It's a little one. If you see anything else, now, ripple marks. Okay, over here. Okay, we're looking at here is cross-bedded sandstone near ripple marks, leaf fossils, and fish fossils. And then there's a few other fossils we can't talk about right now. Well, that's shale. You can tell it's shale because it's black, really dark. I don't believe it's slate because of the place we're in. This is sandstone here. Oh yeah, look at there. There's a twig right there, and there's another one. There's another one right here, I think.
And the rock layers are running this way, and this is running through some of the rock layers. So that's a polystrate fossil.
Oh, that one's worth keeping.
There's a layer, more layers, and that goes through several of them.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely worth keeping.
That's a polystrate fossil. Okay. There's a big stem right here. Here. In conclusion, we have seen unprecedented sedimentary depth of the Swauk Formation, up to 28,000 feet deep. That is over 3 Grand Canyons deep, made up of giant mudflows that host a huge variety of well-defined and pristine leaf fossils, and surprisingly, palm leaf fossils of all things. The last thing you would ever expect to find in the mountains, only in warmer places like the tropics. The Swauk Formation are sedimentary layers that were once horizontal and are now sometimes found at 180 degrees vertical, and basalt dike swarms intruding into the Swauk Formation and spreading out on top, creating basalt lava thickness of 5,000 feet thick on top of the already 28,000 feet thick Swauk Formation. This sounds more like catastrophism, not uniformitarianism. After all, we already know that there are no erosion marks between the layers, and polystrat fossils found there speak of a young Earth. Up next, the Teanaway Formation, 5,000 feet thick of hardened basalt rock.